Hey, dear Tyler, good morning. How are you doing? I hope you're good. I hope you've been fine. And I hope your week has been going on well. Mine has. It's been nice. It's been fun. So apparently today's my baby sister's birthday. She's down far in the village, but happy birthday, Wasonya. Welcome to your first year in this blue planet. Yeah, and I wish you all the best because you really need the best when it comes to the things of this world. Anyway, so it's been nice. It's been a very beautiful week for me. I'm grateful to God for a lot of things. And one of the things I'm really grateful to God for is the growth of dear Tyler. And recently, I think maybe 4 days ago, a Nigerian indigenous podcast platform reached out to me and said that they would love to have dear Tyler on their own platform. And it was just beautiful. They did, and their platform is pretty solid. It was seamless. Like I didn't have issues at all. Registering. And I think it was on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Monday. Yes, Monday. And dear Tyler is there. So for those of us that are looking for a podcast platform, maybe that is more indigenous to Nigeria, you could download the app Jollof Radio. It is a pretty funny name for an app. I think it's cool and epic. Jollof Radio. And from Jollof Radio, you can, listen to various other podcasts, right? So, and this is like, I guess it's for everyone, but they're usually indigenous to Nigerians. So this is for like people that want to have content that are maybe Nigerian based or created by Nigerians. Yes, you want to connect with people on that line. So you could just download Jollof Radio. This is not a sponsored ad. I just felt like it was a nice innovation, and it's very. I'm particularly impressed with the fact that they did that, and their customer service is amazing. They've really helped. And dear Tyler is there now, so you could use Jollof Radio, listen to dear Tyler, and share with other people. So today's topic is killer focus. I'm actually thinking of doing maybe a short video course on how to do podcasts and how I create my content, because I've started finding out new ways, new methods of creating certain things, like doing my designs and all. There's this epic way, and I think it would be a pretty nice avenue. Maybe I'll do it. I'll think about it. I really just need to get my act together on a lot of things. So, killer focus. Oh, how did I come up with this particular topic now? Well, have you ever watched these movies, typically like war movies, action movies, where there's this individual, we call him a sniper, right? And he's at, a particular distance, and he's meant to, in the words of war, he's meant to snipe a particular person. Now, there are a lot of things that are involved in taking a shot on someone. So I've not done my research, but I would give based on what I've understood. Number one, the distance, right? The distance of the individual. Now, sound. A bullet, I think, moves faster than the speed of sound, or probably moves at the speed of sound, if I'm not mistaken. It moves faster than the speed of sound, because what they say is that if you hear the sound of a bullet, that means you are not shot. if you hear the sound of the bullet, right? Like maybe headshot or something. If you hear the sound of a bullet, that means you're not shot or the shot was not lethal, right? So sound, as much as I can remember, moves at 330 meters per second, right? 330 meters per second. So there is this if you're going to like shoot somebody at a certain, please, I'm not teaching us how to shoot people, but if you're going to take out somebody, right, you have to calculate the distance. The distance will tell you at least how long it will take for your bullet to reach the person. The bullet will reach the person. So if the person is at, let's say the bullet moves at the speed of sound, which is 330, right? And then the person is like probably a kilometer away, right? It means that when you shoot, that bullet is going to reach that individual in 3 seconds. Now, 3 seconds is enough time for an individual to move out of the way, right? So let's calculate. So 1, 2, 3. So at that instance that they shoot it, that's where the 1 starts. 1. The person can turn 2 and dodge 3, just depending, right? So the longer the distance, it means the longer it's going to take for the bullet to reach the individual. Number 2, depending on the distance again, the curvature of the earth, right, gives a certain angle that you would have to take your shot from. Number 3, wind resistance, right? Now the wind may be opposing you, so you may be in an opposite direction, right? The wind may be blowing against you, which is going to affect the speed of the bullet and is going to affect the trajectory of the bullet. So if you are in a car, right, just wind down the window and you're moving against the wind. I mean, you're naturally moving against the wind and all. If you put your hand outside the window, right, there's this force that pushes you back and your hand seems to move in a certain direction. So it's not just like it's moving back, but it's almost trying to push your hand towards an angle. So you have to calculate that angle. You understand? The force of the wind resistance, the humidity in the air. There's a lot, right? And if you watch them in those movies, there's this, they have to control their breathing because they have to be steady. There is a whole lot of focus just to get one kill. Another, I think this is more of like a sport. If you watch archery, you see them too. Watch archery, see them too. So you, from a distance, you're seeing the target and you expect them to just, try to line up the arrow, right, with the bullseye of the target. But you can see that sometimes they move it at a particular angle. It's to factor in all of these things, right, and to make sure that the calculation is correct. Right, make sure that the calculation is correct. Now, any slight miscalculation, any slight deviation, any slight movement out of the proper calculations, right, it's going to make a major impact. Now, there's something that we learned in maths, and for those of us that did technical drawing, right, is the concept of parallel lines, right? Parallel lines. Now, so if you're on parallel lines are lines that move in a certain direction but never meet, right? No matter how far that they move. So it means that they are actually together, same angle, same distance, everything. They're just together, so they'll never meet. Now, the moment two lines are no longer parallel, no matter how long it takes, it will get to a point where they would meet. So it's the same thing with that line of sight. You may feel like, I just moved 0.01 millimeters away from the target. Now, it doesn't seem significant until you put it on a large scale. And you find out that those 0.01 centimeters or millimeters would one day accumulate to a 50-kilometer distance. And that's what happens when you miss out on little, little details like that. So people that are taxed with such an assignment, or people that engage in sports like archery, are taught to be highly focused. So there's this game that I used to play way back then on PS2, my cousin's house then. It's called Driven. Now there's something that in the game they kind of like put it there to give you the feeling of being a Formula One car driver. Now, it's called entering the zone. So you could be moving like you're driving, and the moment you enter into a certain level of consistency in driving, so you've gotten all your turns, you're moving at a particular speed, what they do is that they kind of like turn off the sound for you. So you don't get to hear the sound of the engine, you don't get to hear the sound of the crowd, right? And then all the sides that should distract you, right, become blurry. So all that you have is the road. And once you get to that point, it's like they say you're in the zone. And once you're in the zone, you are at the peak of your efficiency. So you can make the best of turns, but you have to be extremely focused in that moment. Nothing should distract you. You're highly calculative about everything. The moment you make a wrong turn and maybe you hit something, then all the noise comes back, and then you have to work on getting into the zone and all. Now, why have I decided to use this as the theme for today? Focus is a killer. Yes, it's a killer. Focus is a killer. It kills every distraction. Kills every distraction. It kills every distraction. There was this analogy that the Lord gave me years ago, way back when I was in Zaire, learning the things of God and growing and building up myself just spiritually and all. And then, he said, okay, he took me to the school chapel there and told me to stand at a particular position, and he asked me, what can I see? And I told him all that I could see at that time. And then he now said, look around. And as I looked around, he said, what do you see? And I now started mentioning the other things that I saw. He now told me that, do you know, as long as you are focused in a particular direction, even though some things existed, right, your focus, now I'm just rephrasing it to fit into this, your focus made them look like they were non-existent. Your focus made them look like they were non-existent. They were there, their influence was there, but because you were not focused on it, it seemed to lose its existence. It didn't have any power over you. So you're not influenced by it. While you were standing at that time, you didn't know if somebody was at your back. And because your focus was not on the possibility that there's somebody behind you, you eliminated fear. Fear is going to come when you've begun to harbor the fact that, there could be somebody behind me doing some nasty thing or planning something, or maybe trying to scare me or something, right? But as long as that's not there, fear seems to go. So things like fear is an awareness to something. Fear comes as an awareness to something. The concept of failure, right, is an awareness to something, an awareness to a deficiency, an awareness to a limitation, right, something that wants to stop you. But when you are focused on a particular thing, every other thing seems to lose its existence. And that's what it is. That's what focus does. That's what focus does. Have you ever been distracted? Like So now this is a perfect example that I'm doing, right? I need to get a lot of work done today. Social media seems to not want to allow me to get that work done. The moment I put my phone on flight mode, I started getting things done. Because the temptation is that once my phone is off flight mode, it's to put my data on and start, working, trying to respond to messages or do something. But the moment I killed the distraction, it was able to help me focus, right? So, my intention to get work done made me put certain things in place to kill any distraction. So right now, I can work. I am recording this because I've been able to focus on it, and then the focus killed the distraction. I don't know if you get, right? Now, there are a lot of things that want to distract you. A lot of things would want to stop you. A lot of things would want to deter you from your goals. And it's very, very important for you to be as focused as possible. One of the greatest things in this life, right, is a very, very powerful tool. It's called a laser. And a laser is what? Focused light. Focused light. So light moves basically in a straight line. It moves basically in a straight line. But depending on the medium that is projecting the light, it can spread, but it will always move in a straight line, right? It can spread, and then maybe due to change in materials, right? So light moves in a different direction when it enters into glass. Light moves in a different direction when it enters into water. So if you're underwater now, for instance, right, and you look up, your orientation of things will be a little bit different, and because of the refractive index of water. So that's a whole lot of physics. Now, but as long as light is focused, it's powerful. And it's light, which is laser, concentrated light or focused light that they use in cutting diamonds, right? Which is one of the hardest substances in the world. That's what they use to carve diamonds, right? They use lasers to cut through metal. They use lasers to cut through glass. They can use lasers to blind your eyes. It doesn't even have to be a very strong one. As long as it is focused enough, it can literally blind your eyes. Literally blind your eyes. And that's the power. The very light that you just see around, the very light on your phone, do you understand? If you can focus it. It's the same thing like a fire hydrant, right? So the fire hydrant in a fire truck, right? What makes it powerful is that, yes, there are other factors like pressure, water pressure and all, but it's because the water itself is focused. That's what makes it extremely, extremely powerful, right? And it's that focus that gives it its major, major force, right? So instead of just spreading it around, they put it within a very, very small space so that it can come out with a lot more force. Right? It can come out with a lot more force. So every time you decide to focus on something, right, or you decide to be focused, right, that you decide to put all your energies and focus on a certain thing, you improve your efficiency by magnanimous amounts. You cannot imagine. Very, very great amounts. The truth is that, Tyler, there will be so many things that we'll need to do. We need to get things done. Oh, I need to fix up my room. I need to work on this project. I need to fix my finances. I need to do this. I need to do that. But you're never going to be efficient when your hands are doing everything. You will be efficient when your hand finds something to do well. So the Bible says that whatever your hands find to do, do it well. Whatever your hands find to do, do it well. Right? So all things are needful, but one thing, right, is expedient. Right? All these things are important, but one thing is needful, rather. You need to touch all of these things, but one thing is needful. One thing deserves your energy at that time. One thing deserves your energy at that time. Now, it's hard. Trust me, it's extremely hard. But you will find out that after your day, once your day is done, you will go back and evaluate all that you've done. You find out that a more focused day is more productive than a day that you have so many plans. So if you want to achieve a lot within a day, break them into little focal points. From so time to so time, what am I going to do? Right? And focus on it. Then you have to create the environment that helps you to focus. So for instance, now, you want to read a book and you're having issues with social media. I think social media is probably one of the greatest distractions, right? For me, I'm speaking, right? For me. So what do? Flight mode. Flight mode. Put it on flight mode. Nothing can distract you, at least at that time. And then pick up a book and start reading. At least you've removed that distraction from your mind or from your vicinity and decide to focus on the book. There was something that I read recently, and I think it's something I'll try. It said, if you ever struggle to wake up, right, from an alarm, right, keep the alarm far from you. So in the same room, but maybe you use your phone alarm, right, so make it loud and everything, but keep it at a distance. What that does is that when the alarm rings, you have to stand up from your bed to go and switch it off. And that standing up from your bed has already kickstarted your being awake. Now, it may take some time to work because it could be pretty difficult, right? It could be pretty difficult, but the moment you do that, you're creating a system that keeps you awake or makes you stand up. The problem is that most times our phones are next to our beds. So when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is that you're looking for the phone, right? Or you are, if the alarm comes, you just know where the phone is and you already, fix up the gesture on how to switch off the alarm, switch it off and continue to sleep. It keeps you in that same position. So it makes you very inefficient. When the disciples were, when the church was growing in Acts, there was this whole fuss about some of us are not getting food, there's division and all of those things. And they had to set up a structure, which is called, which we have now as the deacons, right, in the church. They set up that structure so that the apostles would be able to focus on the word, the mission of the word and prayer, so that they don't have distractions from their primary goal. And so focus, Tyler, is a killer. If you feel there are too many things that are alive in your life that are causing distractions, what you need is focus. And once you get into that focus point, right, ride on the wings of that focus. Ride on it, and make the best out of it. There's some people that say, hey, I read better with music. Well, I think it works best for people that maybe do like creative arts or something. So maybe you're drawing, maybe you are designing, something, a particular structure. Maybe you're doing construction. Yes. But when you're trying to read and assimilate a theory, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I really don't think so. Maybe if you're calculating, yes. Maybe calculating, doing some maths, physics, calculations or something like that. It just helps with the flow. But you're reading to assimilate. I think that there's a clash. Right? So your brain is assimilating too many things, too many types of the same information, right? Or too much volume of the same information at a time. So you've got to be honest with yourself in taking away anything that is a distraction. Taking away anything, Tyler, that is a distraction. So this morning, it's more of like an admonishment. Create that killer focus. Create it. Create it. Create it, Tyler. Create it. Whatever you can do, create it. Break down your day, your years, whatever. However you plan, break it down into that. And decide to be focused on certain things at certain times. And then create that enabling environment for you to thrive during that particular activity. Is that okay? So, I'd like us to pray. Father, thank you for every single time you keep on showing up, keep on telling us things, keep on revealing your heart and helping us through our weaknesses. Help us to understand, oh God, the value of focus, giving our best energies to a certain task at a particular time, and understanding that distractions can be taken away if we only focus on the work at hand. Help us, Father, to be sensitive enough to know when a distraction comes up. A distraction doesn't need to be bad. It's just meant to come at the wrong time. As long as it comes at the wrong time, it's a distraction. So Lord, help us, oh God, to create structures that deal with these distractions while we focus on our work. And Lord, as we focus on our work, focus on activities, focus on tasks, we ask, Lord, Father, that you would help us to be productive, and you would, by your Spirit, cause it to yield so much more for us. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Spirit of God, for always helping us. In Jesus' name, amen. So, yeah, I really hope this episode blessed you. This is particularly long. I don't know if I should apologize for that, but I'm particularly sorry when it's longer than I actually expected. But I really hope that it blessed you, right? So please don't forget to share with other people. Let people know about their Tyler. Share it with your guys. Listen. And you can reach out to me, share your own contributions at any point in time. It would be really, really appreciated, right? So yeah, so this is me signing out. Remember that I love you, I believe in you, and I'm always rooting for you. Take care, Tyler. Bye.